YouTube and regular channel viewers. I feel like it's been a really long time since I did one of these. For anyone who's new to this channel, my name is Yeotori and I'm a retired mostly like stage choreographer and a former commercial idol dancer, and I have a good amount of experience dancing house and whacking. Anyway, I brought all it up because I wanted to talk about this relatable moment from this manga I've been reading. And that manga is called Wandance. If anyone watching has ever wanted to pursue something creative at a much more like deeper or competitive level, then maybe it's something that you might be familiar with. But before that, a quick Wandance summary for anyone who doesn't know what it is. Wandance is about a socially awkward guy named Kabo who joins a school dance club and finds that he's like super into dancing, and a girl in the club named Wanda. As I was watching the anime, there was a moment in episode 4, which is around chapter 5 in the manga, where we start to see from the perspective of another dance club member named Yuda. She sort of views herself as better than the other first years in the club. In her words, she's faster at learning the choreography and able to perform it really close to the given reference. But in the end, she isn't chosen to be on the performing team. After practice, she talks to the dance club president An about why she wasn't chosen to be in the performing group for the upcoming dance competition. And from this conversation came something that I had talked about a while back, but my situation was a different circumstance. But the person I was talking to had made the same conclusion as Yuda. I think my version of good dancing is different to other people's. For this video, I wanted to talk about how this is sort of a dangerous mental place to put yourself. I think blaming people in general is just a really bad way of coping, but at the same time, I wanted to talk about this idea that like, well, what if it's true? What if your version of good dancing is different from those around you? You could go your entire life thinking that you had something special and no one else noticed, and well, that's a scary thought. But before we get into that, let's talk about how someone gets into this mental complex. Let's pretend I have a cup of water and I have ice in it. I want to say that the ice represents the people still learning or entry into dance. Even people who don't know too much about dancing, well, they can tell the difference between ice and water just by looking. But when the ice melts into water is sort of when the gap between dancers is no longer visible on a surface level. A lot of people tend to learn at a different pace, but the ceiling is very similar for a lot of people. This ceiling is also where some dancers, when they compare themselves to others, they start to think, I think my version of good dancing is different to other people. In cases where this is true, it really comes down to the objective and subjective parts when judging a person's dance. Dance is kind of like if your writing teacher asks you to write a paragraph on a topic. Maybe today that topic is asking you where you think is the most fun place to travel to. And a good teacher wouldn't grade someone for their opinion or the place they chose, because that would be subjective. A good teacher would look at how you supported the place that you chose, clearly conveyed your thoughts, and if you used good punctuations. But depending on where you go in this world, and if you were to ask that same question, you might see a lot of people answer with a similar place. Like if you had asked people in Florida, a lot of them might say Disney World. Everyone was given the same question, and a lot of people gave the same answer. Everyone around you is dancing, and everyone's dancing the same way, but you're not. The people around you, they start to find your dancing funny. Dance competitions around you are judged by people who like to travel to Disney World for fun. You start to question if something that was subjective to begin with is now objective. I think my version of good dancing is different to other people's. It's just like in writing, there's a lot of objective things to a good dance, and there's a lot of subjective things too. Like, if the song doesn't have strong kicks or snares, and the person dancing is throwing out really big and snappy moves, it's sort of like ending each sentence with an exclamation mark when the topic asks you to describe something like relaxing. Big, fast, and strong moves. They're really appealing to a crowd and it looks a lot more technical. Objectively, a dance should align with the music. So far, the manga and anime doesn't expand to this idea of, I think my version of good dancing is different to other people's after introducing it. Yuda realizes that she wasn't as good as she thought, and that she was rushing the choreography. In the manga, An is more direct with Yuda that she isn't seeing the bigger picture and that it's not about copying others' best, but that she's looking for people that found their own style in the choreography. I mentioned earlier that I talked about this with a friend of mine long time ago, but unlike the anime, there was no resolution or just sudden realization. I am also no good when it comes to cheering people up, and this was after she had talked about how there was just not a good crowd reception to after her performance. But I remember saying something like, isn't it nice that we can travel? And now we could even post things online. The people around us and the people who watch us, All of that can change and we can change that. Maybe one day, you'll find the people who can appreciate your dancing for the way that you see it. If this video somehow finds its way to fans of Wandance, I'm still reading, but I'm all caught up on the anime. I know it's not really that popular, but I hope some of you enjoyed all my yapping. You can definitely expect more Wandance stuff. Some quick updates for our regular viewers. In my last video, I mentioned some dates when some stuff would happen, and sadly, a lot of stuff had to be pushed back. When it comes to singing, I'm pretty below average, so our producer wants me to like practice more before he feels confident recording me. I'm not giving up though, so please be patient. The pin and sticker shoot are still happening, so we just need to figure out like all of the how to get them to people. Thank you all for supporting and watching my video today. Yatori입니다. Bye bye!